I saw it as a matter of convenience, and it was allowed. Others had done it, according to the State Department.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, John Zogby, pollster extraordinaire of Zogby Polls, CEO of Zogby Analytics, joins us. Hello, John.
Hey, Steve.
Quite an event today, huh? What did you make of her explanation? If you saw the press conference, how it might affect her, politically speaking, with the American public going forward? Do you think she, put all her worries to rest here and all of the public's concerns to rest?
No, I don't think so. I don't know how big the email issue in and of itself will be in the final analysis. I think the much bigger issue is the money to the Clinton Foundation and initiative and the source of that money. And then in that context, what were those emails all about? And why did they have to be, and I'm putting in quotes, private? And a server from her home. So I think it's within a broader context, it could be a bigger issue. But essentially, Steve, I think it's drip, 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 drip. That's ultimately what may or may not tire the American people.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. All right, I made a joke earlier. I said Elizabeth Warren's phone was ringing off the hook, or she picked up the phone after the press conference because it doesn't look like Hillary's problems are going away. And to your point, when she was asked about the contributions to the Clinton Foundation from countries that treat women, in a subpar fashion, in a subhuman fashion in many instances, she said, "Oh, I'm proud of the foundation." I mean, she's going to have to come up with better than that because I think she's going to turn a lot of women's heads in the wrong direction. But let's talk about opposition to Hillary. Let's talk about O'Malley first. Martin O'Malley. Where do you think he stands? You wrote a piece asking if he, I think it was you who wrote it, if he's ready for Hillary. Is O'Malley ready for Hillary in any way, shape, or form?
Well, he could be. He turned Baltimore from the city of the wire to a city that people look at. I mean, he was a successful mayor and governor. He had some problems getting a flawed lieutenant governor elected, but nonetheless, he seems to be an interesting fellow, seems to have some appeal to youth and to minorities. The key, I think, in this race is the Democrats coming up with a challenger, because we already know that Hillary has some problems on the left, and now she's got some problems in the center, particularly when it comes to the legion of ethical concerns. I think you're starting to see party leadership throughout the country just getting tired already, maybe even before the voters are.
Yeah, and what about Elizabeth Warren? I mean, when she's polled and you see the numbers, or when people are polled, she's insignificant really in the numbers. But if she got involved, do you think she would have a legitimate shot?
It represents a very substantial wing of the Democratic Party, the progressive wing. I mean, we're going back to Gene McCarthy and George McGovern in those days. Whatever your feelings may be, if the left in the party is troubled, and troubled with the front runner, that's real problems for the front runner. Elizabeth Warren has a lot of appeal on the left. The problem that I think she faces is she's a college professor who's never run anything before, and I don't know that Democrats are ready to replay that one.
Yeah, or the nation is ready to replay that one. Barack Obama's disapproval rating, his numbers are at their lowest point since 2012, disapproval. And you were quoted as saying in a piece in the independent IB Times that you could attribute that to the Republicans overplaying their hand in the budget talks, in the executive order funding Department of Homeland Security. You also cite Keystone Pipeline and the Iran nuclear issue. I could understand the first one, possibly the way the media portrayed it, but I don't think Americans favor. You correct me if I'm wrong on the polling. I don't think they favor what he's doing with Iran, and I think most people were in favor of Keystone. He vetoed that.
Well, 2 out of 3 voters say that they want a deal with Iran. The public opinion's mixed on Keystone. Obviously, depends on where you are on the political spectrum. But the problem that Republicans face is that having won the congressional elections, voters are expecting them to get something done, not getting some things not done. And so ultimately they're going to be judged on how effective they are, whether it's working with the president or not working with the president, but moving the ball forward. And right now, their numbers, just speaking as a pollster, their numbers are not good. His are actually a little better.
And what about the Republican field? You know, we keep seeing similar results. When is it not going to be too early to look at a poll? When everybody's announced? After the first and second and third debates? Is that when we should start looking, or is there you know, prudence in looking now?
Oh, there's prudence in looking now. I mean, to your viewers, if I've got to lose weight by November of 2016, I better not surprise myself the day before the election. It's good to measure it and get a benchmark. And so what do I see on the Republican side? I see another flawed front runner. In terms of the polls, why is a Bush at 17 or 18? In some polls, second place, and others a very weak first place.
That's a good question, John. John, great to talk to you. Thank you very, very much, my friend. John Zogby, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, thank you. You know, President of Scheinkampf Communications, Hank Scheinkampf, will join us.